All right. So today I have in a watch, a very nice watch that takes inspiration from the Art Deco architecture of the 20s and 30s. The company's Bremoire watches and their debut release, the Lexington, has a really interesting and well executed design. One of the better first releases I've seen from a brand in quite a while. Big thanks to Bremoire for lending in the watch. This is the first video of 2022, so I'm glad to have something pretty cool like this to share with you guys to kick off the new year. So let's get straight to it and take a look at the watch. So, first of all, this watch is one of those watches that is a real piece of eye candy. So many great little details that I found myself just looking down at my wrist and exploring a whole lot. I highly suggest taking a look at the Bremoire site. They do a great job there breaking down all of those little details and explaining the inspiration behind them. The watch is inspired specifically by the Chrysler Building in New York City and is named the Lexington after Lexington Avenue, where the Chrysler Building is located. One thing that's particularly interesting for me is they've combined a very elegant looking watch, especially the dial and the stepped bezel, with quite a sporty case. It feels very robust, which makes this perfect for a great everyday watch. The case is well finished with that high polished beveled edge. Along the underside of the case, there's a second, quite thin polished edge as well. The finish work is top notch. It's a slab sided case, but there's that curvature to the case's side profile that keeps it seated just right on wrist. The crown is a push pull crown, and I like how it comes out to a point at its tip. The winding action is good and smooth. The crown is quite thin, but it is very easy to get a hold of to adjust the time. Through the display case back, we have the STP 111 on display and the custom Bremoire rotor. It's a 26 jewel movement beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour and with a power reserve of approximately 44 hours. So these are available in a total of four dial colors, but the blue here is probably my favorite. There's also a blue with copper that's a neat look too. It's a sector style dial with applied indices. That font at the 3, 6, 9, and 12 looks really good, and the other markers are faceted and offer some great light play. The markers are inspired by the entrance doors and spire triangles of the Chrysler Building. The minute markers also take inspiration from the building and the metalwork at its entrance. The handset is fairly straightforward with the shorter hour hand that stays within the center section of the dial and that long minute hand reaching out to the minute track. There's a lot happening on the dial, so I think it was the right choice to keep the hands as simple as possible. As far as loom goes, considering the style of the watch, it's not bad. The markers could stand to be a little brighter, but this is a prototype, so there's the possibility they may be brighter on the production models. As is, it's totally fine though. The strap is a good quality nubuck leather. It's really soft and pliable right out of the box. You're not going to have to go through any break-in period whatsoever. And this color goes very nice with the watch. I wouldn't mind having a strap like this for some of my watches, actually. I'm really liking the strap. The strap has got quick release spring bars for quick strap changes. The hardware has that Art Deco touch with the stepped buckle matching the bezel. So, although the watch I find has a chunky look to it with this case, I was surprised by the measurements. Case width on the watch is 39.1 millimeters. The lug to lug is 48.5 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters, and the thickness is 10.8 millimeters. Water resist on the watch is 50 meters, and the crystal is sapphire with an anti reflective coating. The caseback crystal is also sapphire. And here it is on my 7.25 inch wrist, and you can see the watch sits great with that curved case on wrist. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the watch in the comments. I feel like not everyone might like the contrast of the more elegant dial versus the toolish case design. I think it's a pretty darn cool look myself. Loving the stepped bezel, you just don't see that very often. Cost on the Lexington is 985 USD, which is maybe a little on the high side, but there is a ton of custom parts to create a unique design like this, and the finish is right up there with much more expensive watches as well. I think it's a great first release overall and look forward to what Bremoire comes out with next. So that is it for today. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye bye.